Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we have another discussion video. This one, kind of like doing this type of video. Some people like it, some people don't, and I understand. It's I'm not gonna say acquired taste, but like you might like it, you might not like it. I just want to let you guys know that I'm trying to make content for a wide range of topics and things. So if you don't like one but you like the other, I understand. It's okay. We don't always have to agree with each other and things of that nature. So yeah, don't worry. The guys are still gonna be here. The videos on updates and news that have to do with the company is gonna be here. But I do like discussing stuff that's said on the forum and either agreeing or disagreeing with it. Last video we had somebody talking about armor and how to fix it, and I thought that was very educational, right? This video is gonna be more about kind of the criticisms and what people feel about the game. So if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I don't mind. I don't mind either way. I'm not offended by if you dislike it and stuff like that. So yeah, I try to be objective. I try to give my opinions, and like always, I want to see what you guys think about it. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So we have two forum posts. One of them, a dev replied. We're going to go over the dev's reply as well, but let's start with this one right here. So Bannerlord, and this kind of has to do with the video that I made recently about pretty much highlighting the whole Steam page when it comes to the early access message the devs left right before you buy it, right? You guys can go check that out as well. I'm gonna leave that in the description as well. But alright, so Bannerlord is misadvertised by the devs on Steam. Yes, even taking account early access. Let me pull up actually the early access, what do you call it, the announcement. Just so we have a good understanding and kind of, we can see the point that's being made, right? So let me just where is it? There we go. Got the Steam page pulled up right next to me just so I could have it just in case I gotta pull it up later. But alright, so we all know it's early access, but at the moment Tail Worlds are not living up to their own advertised blurb on the Steam page of a stable experience where you may encounter obscure bugs. Okay. How is the full version planned to differ from the early access version? The early access version of the game contains a wealth of content that will keep players engaged for many hours, while the early access version is very much stable and playable. Players can expect to run into some obscure bugs and other issues while playing that we intend to locate and fix before the full release. I just want to see something real quick. Okay, but let's read the full statement. Let's read the full statement because, this is the full statement. They only took this one in this reply, so let's read the full statement. So we just read that. Now, the early access version will be reusing scenes from different towns, may lack some supporting features, may have a limited number of quests, voiceovers, etc., and may lack localization for some languages. Throughout the process of early access period, we intend to introduce the missing supporting features such as rebellions, kingdom creation, and weapon crafting, while expanding and enhancing many of the existing features that are outlined below. So that is the full statement, just so we can have that clear. So let's analyze the statement. Very much stable and playable, and players can expect to run into obscure bugs. This is blatant misadvertisement. This game suffers from many obvious bugs that affect core gameplay. Many features are also broken or missing, and crashes are frequent for many players. The most recent patch also broke the game for many people. Okay, the misadvertisement of the game opens them up for potential legal issues that would certainly justify refund policies after the usual Steam period has expired. Even if the game is sold as early access, to charge pretty much a full price for a game in this state, knowing that many people will buy it regardless as they are diehard Warband fans, and also because many reviewers and YouTubes rehyping it to hell and back. In my cynical and bordering on wait, in in my view cynical and bordering on unethical. For the record, I do like this game and I'm excited at the potential of it, but I wait for a few more big patches before investing more time due to very rough state it is in. Okay, so before I read the replies, here's my opinion, right? So it's the whole, it's, you know, right from the beginning it came kind of from a negative place. An advertised blurb. If we look over here, and as we've seen in another video, it breaks down exactly what it really doesn't have and what it's really working for, right? Even with a little Q&A, right? So it's not just a blurb. It's not just, hey, this is it. Hey, this is early access. It might not work. It may or may not work. Up to you. No, it goes in depth into the actual issues of the game that are currently in the game. Now, the whole very much stable and playable. Players can expect to run into obscure bugs. This is a blatant misunderstanding. The game suffers from many too obvious bugs. Well, okay, so here's the problem with just going to this one use of the word obscure and changing the what do you call the narration of pretty much what they try to say. Because here, yes, they say obscure bugs in this section, right? They say they use the word obscure. But if we go over the whole thing, there are more use of the word bugs. Let me see how much use of the word bugs there is. There we go. So, okay, so we missed this whole section. Bugs and glitches. Although we strive to create a stable game, the game will be actively developed during the early access, and hence there will be a greater chance of bugs and glitches creeping up. It will, of course, be a priority to fix these. This was skipped when talking about the bugs. And whenever they said obscure, that was... I think you should have included both statements, because they do state that there are bugs and glitches. There are. And anybody playing early access, it comes with the name. It's early access. It's not a finished, polished game. You have bugs and glitches, right? Now, the fact that they say many features are also broken, are missing, and crashes are frequent and stuff. Another thing, why was this only included in your whole summary of when you're talking about a lot of missing features? They state every missing feature. Unique maps stated, quest content stated, because they said they're gonna put more things into the game. The balancing, obviously some things are poorly balanced. You know, we had the boar problem, we had the workshop problems. They're being told right here, balancing. You know, voiceovers don't really care about it personally, but it's cool they're gonna add them, right? Save games, save capability. You know, the how some game saves are kind of broken, stated. Bugs and glitches, stated. Languages, I think that's cool too. You know, they're trying to do more. Multiplayer, you know, supports the multiplayer is kind of broken right now. I'm not gonna lie about that part, right? But several planned single player features may be missing or incomplete. Boom. And what did this person state? Many features are broken or missing, and crashes are free. It says it right here. It says it right here. I don't understand why this wasn't put into this part of your excerpt. You just took one part of the whole statement and focused on them saying obscure and not obvious, and saying, oh, but there's so many other things wrong. It's stated. They know there is. They're working on it. That's what they've stated, right? So it's not misadvertisement. They said this is blatant misadvertisement. It's not misadvertisement. What's misadvertisement is really taking a small portion of the full statement and then saying, oh, well, they didn't mention the other things. Yes, they did. It's a couple paragraphs up. So that's kind of what I don't like. I think if you're going to analyze the whole statement, then analyze it in terms of, you know, the actual whole statement that was made about the game. Now, let's keep reading. This misadvertisement of the game opens up to potential... Let me break something down for you guys. You can sue people, especially if you live in the U.S., for about anything. Anything. You know? We have this guy, you know, the guy who's suing Twitch for putting everybody on the screen for him. I'm not going to get too far into it. He's suing for 25 million because he has a problem, getting excited. You can sue for anything, but saying that they can get sued for misadvertisement when they didn't, yeah, they can get sued, but are they going to lose that battle? No, I think they're going to win it easily if they are, but I don't think anyone's going to sue them because this isn't like some other games that definitely need to get sued. It's not the kind of the same thing, right? Even if the game is sold as early access, to charge pretty much a full price for a game in this state, knowing that many people buy it because they're diehard fans, also because many reviews are, well, okay, so here's the thing. And then calling it cynical and boring and unethical. Here's how it works. They worked on something. They told you that if you guys want to help us, you guys can help us. And but we have the core game there, right? They don't have to give you a discount, if that makes sense. Like, just because the game's not fully finished, it's not like they owe you one. I'm not trying to be like mean or kind of like, you know what I mean, like, oh, but yes, they can make their prices, and then when you press buy, guess what? You're agreeing to that price. Like I never understood the whole point of like, okay, maybe they should have charged $10 or $20. No, they get to pick the price. I know that sounds kind of like, oh, but they're overcharging. It's their choice, and then if you buy it, it's your choice. So if you think it's too much, then don't buy it. I don't know how else to explain this, but complaining that it's too much after you bought it is just counterintuitive in my opinion. But I want to touch back on one more thing up here. Very much stable, in my opinion. And he's saying that's a misadvertisement, that it's very much stable. It is stable. It is stable. It's a lot more stable than a lot of early access games. Let me tell you something. I have, I think, over 300, a little bit more than 300, probably like 320 hours so far in the game, and I've only had one crash. One. Like, that's nothing. For 300 hours plus, that is nothing. I used to play, like I stated in another video, I used to play the earlier Fallouts, and I loved them to death, but I would crash so much. But I still love the game, right? And trust me, this game is stable. Yes, there's FPS issues. What game nowadays doesn't have FPS issues? Let's really be honest, right? That obviously they're trying to get them fixed. Obviously that's what they're working on, right? A lot of patches, we've had a lot of crash fixes and patches, a lot of FPS issues, and it has gotten better. If you played from the beginning of when this game came out to now, FPS is a lot smoother. There are a lot less crashes for people who were having crashes. But another big problem that people never want to point out when it comes to crashes is people download mods, then they don't uninstall them properly when they're supposed to. Then they either break because they're on Steam's auto update system, right? And then they wonder why their mods break. Well, it's a simple concept. When the code in the game changes, the mods that work from that code don't have that code to work with anymore, so they will cause your game to crash, right? Or the mods won't work. It's very simple things that they usually get like all twisted up, and then, oh, let's blame the game for it. Like, there has to be some personal responsibility taken as well. But all right, let me stop. Let's see what the community has to say. Let's see what the other players have to say. That is my little, I guess that's a rant. I don't know what you would call it. I don't mean to, like, again, I guess some people think of, whenever I kind of get into like this talk, like they think, oh, why are you hating on me? Because I had somebody who I've actually talked about in a video come to my video and kind of be like, I just try to give them some advice, and Stan does this. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to flame nobody. I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to, if you're gonna come with these accusations, and I see them as, a misrepresentation of what is actually being said by the developer, that I'm gonna speak out. I'm gonna have my own opinion of it as well. So it is what it is. So let's read this. So it depends on your ideas of the term stable. I played many much more unstable early access games than Bannerlord, some of which have been literally unplayable. As in, I couldn't even launch the game or couldn't play for 30 minutes without crashing the desktop. The price they charge is based on the demand of the game. Okay, so let's talk about this. Yes, I agree. It is a lot more stable, and I've been there with some games that are completely unplayable. The price they charge is based on the demand of the game. High demand on or consumer desire for the product leads to higher price. Sorry, that's just basic economics. It applies to almost every game on Steam. Yeah, just basic stuff, you know, like and like I stated before, like well, I didn't say this, but I said before, if you don't like the price, right? Don't buy it and then complain. Just don't buy it, or wait for a sale. You know, it's your choice in the end. You know, you can't blame somebody for like, why are you charging this? Like, that's what they're charging. If you want to buy it, buy it. If you don't want to buy it, it's not like they're charging $300 for this. You know what I mean? They're charging what? What was it? $50? Like if you had Warband, didn't you get a discount for this one or something like that? I forgot exactly how it worked. Plus, it's on sale right now, and it's been on sale a couple other times as well. So, if you really didn't like the price, you could have waited for a sale opportunity. You know. The bugs might be there, might be more than obscure, but no lawyer would see that alone as sufficient bias for misadvertisement claim. I expect it is probably an over-optimistic statement written before launch. Yeah, like the whole legal issue, like, it's not happening. Unfortunately, it's not happening. You know, just it's not happening. To sum up, the game is not even close to being in a very rough state, as you put it. True. It's very much playable. You can play the game. Trust me, you can play it. Yeah, some aspects are super grindy. Some aspects aren't actually there. But can you play the game? Can you get from the start to the finish of the game, you know, of owning every... Yes, you can. You can. In fact, early access game is totally playable and enjoyable despite the errors which need more attention and reworking. Nothing unethical here. Well said. Well said. I do agree. Please define stable then. Believe it or not, in my 100 hours of playing, I've encountered a total of 0 crashes and 1 potential save breaking problem. I think I could have fixed it with cheats, but I have another save literally 2 minutes away, so I did not bother. Exactly. He's gotten 0 crashes, and I've gotten 1. You know? FPS is funny sometimes, but then I've got a pretty old rig. Decent for its own time, though, and it isn't even bordering unplayable levels, even with this rig in mind. Again, another true statement. As for patches breaking the game, that's beta for you. You have been deliberately warned, and unless you want to potentially sacrifice your save for a great good, you're better off waiting for a particular patch to pass beta and hit release. You can't blame Tailwords for an optional unstable version being unstable. You know, exactly. I feel like there should be some responsibility taken, because it's been told, it's been said, and then, you know, like, hey, you want to play in a stable patch? Here's how you do it. Go play on a stable patch, but then you consider you still play in the beta patch, stuff still breaks for you, and then you're upset when you could have made the conscious decision to make that not happen, if that kind of makes sense, right? As for the price, you're paying to get the game one day and play it unfinished state now. Play it in an unfinished state now. The fact that it's unfinished isn't basis for a refund when it has a giant unfinished EA label, and the store page warns you to refrain from purchasing if you want a complete experience. This is a legit one of the most ethical sound EA entries that I've seen. Boom, bada bing, bada bash. Literally, when I was making the other video, I was thinking to myself, like, here's the thing. A lot of game companies, maybe kind of like AAA, because, you know, they're mainly focused on profit than actually, you know, the love of the game. That's, you know, unfortunately how it goes with bigger corporations, you know. You have, you know, big names who want, you know, good returns, so you have to follow that, right? And I doubt, and I seriously doubt, and tell me if I'm wrong or not, right? If a big AAA title, right, would for some reason have to go into an EA stage, right, an early access stage, right? Let's say they had to, right? I doubt they would go out and list every single thing that's wrong. Well, I'm not going to say every single thing, but the main problems, and literally like state some of the stuff that's stated here. The game, let's see, several planned single-player features may be missing or incomplete. I don't think a AAA title would ever say that, you know? saying that aspects of like the big parts of the game are missing, saying that there are bugs, saying that your save might be broken. I don't think a lot of early access games, especially like big companies, I don't think they would ever, bombard their own game right before the buy button, if that kind of makes sense, right? And the fact that this was all put here and many people did not read it before they bought it and then complain about something that's stated before you put it in your cart. It's right above and it's in big text writing. If we look at this page, right? What stands out for you apart from this sale? Because that's usually not there. Like, forget about the orange part right here. What sticks out to you? You got the logo, you got the little video, but then boom, you have this huge blue, especially if you're sitting in the dark, this sticks out. Early access game. Boom, you can get instant access. Then you have a thing that says what do the developers have to say, the people who made the game, and then you have this complete, what is this? How many words is this? It's a lot that tells you what's wrong, what's planned, and it answers your questions. So I never understood the concept of not reading something before you buy it, and then complaining for the same reasons that you were told before, right? Just don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay, so 210 hours clocked in. All the cracks were in the initial couple of versions, patched within days. Volume of the game content roughly around similar levels. Mount Blade 1 / Warband, combat, recruit, leveling, unit variety are all pretty solid. Many features are still missing, with the main content of the game is here and playable. Yes, like I said before, yes, there's a lot of stuff that's missing, but it's, to play the game in its current state, you can play it and you can enjoy it, Just because there's not a way to, somehow talk to this character this certain way, it doesn't mean the game is unplayable. It's still playable, right? So what's supposedly a misadvertisement? Misadvertisement again. Also, what's the point of this claim in the first place? It's a good question to ask. That's a good question to ask. To get a defund, to denounce the developers doing hard work, to jump to the fantasy bandwagon and start they have 8 years crap. To what purpose is this particular topic dedicated? And how does it make for a better game? I would dearly love to get answers I would dearly love to get answers on the above questions, please. I'm weak. Who is the main guy, just so I know? Bannerlord. I want to see if he ever responds to some of these. Can I count? I can count my crashes on one hand after 200 of games. Very stable for me. 160 hours. First game freeze. What is this? No, this is the real misadvertisement. Play the game that you want to play it. Plot your own path and power dynamic. Where no two players are you kidding? Realistic economy. See the ability of good. Where the price of everything from incense to war horses fluctuates supply and demand. Turn anarchy to your advantage and bring the first to gain. Customize the game and experience an entirely different adventure of your own creation. The engine and tools need to develop. Okay. Well, okay, yeah. So I can see what he's saying with this, but at the same time, like, these are just some basic stuff that like don't need any explaining, right? They were trying to make a very nice kind of like, how do I say this? Where was this taken from? Was this from the Steam page? This is in the description of the game. Let's see. I think it's in the description of the game. Yeah, so this is just in the basic description of the game. So this is what they see in the final product, right? So about this game. So this is what they see in the game. This is what they envision, right? Okay. Yeah, I can understand. Yeah, it's not here yet, but at the same time, you missed this big one, This was before everything else. Right here. This page is probably not going to ever change. This page is probably going to be the same way when the game is finalized. This isn't a news page. This isn't a place where you find the news. this is where you find all the announcements. So this is just talking about the game and what they envision it. And this is what should be read. Alrighty. I think we're about done with this thread. Let's get to the next one. So this one has a reply to it. So let's talk about it. Oh, let's see what it's all about. I'm sorry, but I finally give up. What the hell are Tail Worlds doing? Nothing new in 3 weeks? Whoever is managing this team needs the boot. Okay. I had 2 full playthroughs and loved every second. Doesn't sound like it. But it went stale and grindy rapidly. Fans have lost interest. YouTubers have lost interest. People have given a lot of money for a demo. This is where... Okay, look, let me let me stop you right there. Why does everybody think that they have the whole... how can I say this? I don't like when people make the blanket statement of like, oh, all fans have lost interest. All the YouTubers have lost it. How do you know? Are you connected with all the fans or the fan groups? Are you... I never understood that concept, right? Why people speak for more people than... How can I explain this? When people speak for a group of people, right? Well, there's certain situations where that makes sense, right? If you're representing a group of people, if you're the representative, if you're that guy of the, you know what I'm saying, of a certain group of, like, let's say of individuals or workers or that, like, you know what I mean? If you're a leader and people consider you a leader, I understand, then you will talk for other people, right? But when people make these blanket statements out of nowhere, like, fans have lost interest, YouTubers have lost interest, it makes it sound like, oh, I'm the representation of fans, you know what I mean? I don't agree with that. What you should have said was, I have lost interest. That's kind of what it is, right? People have given a lot of money for a demo. This is worse than Star Citizen. Well, here's another thing. If you've gotten 2 full playthroughs through, as you've stated, then it is not a demo. A demo is not a playthrough. A demo is like literally a couple missions. It's usually 30 minutes to an hour of gameplay. That is a demo. So, yeah. Star Citizen, I have no idea what Star Citizen is, so I can't tell you. But it's mentioned a lot when it comes to failing games, so I'm guessing it is a failed game. Okay? Stop dancing your rich and streamline your bloody updates, and communicate with your fans that have waited 7 years for this excuse of a game/demo. Alrighty, another one. So, stop dancing your riches. People really think since the game was, what, $60, they think, oh my god, they've gotten all these sales. Now they're super wealthy and rich. Well, here's the crazy thing. They haven't released a game for how long? Like, people always say they haven't released a game for, what, 7, 8, 10 years? So, you know all those years that they haven't released a game, but they were still working. They still had to pay their bills. They still had to pay their wages. They still had to pay, you know, for the office and all of that. So, yes, they might have gotten a good cash infusion, right? From the sale of the game from, like, the beginning to now. But they were working without this, right? I don't know how to properly say that, but they made a product, right? They worked on this product. You can't just go into this game and be like, oh, they didn't work on this at all. You can see that they've put work into this project. And you can see that they're consistently working on this project. So the whole stop, you know, dancing your riches, like, you know what I mean? Like, okay. Also communicate with your fans that you have waited, that have waited 7 years for this excuse of a... They do communicate. You know, it's a crazy concept, but if you go into the what do you call it? The forums, the Steam pages, the Reddits, you'll find devs there. Yes, they're not on every single post because they don't have to be on every single post. To be honest, I don't think developers should be on any posts because they're developers. They're not community managers. They're not people whose job is to communicate. But the thing is, they're there. And if you don't believe me, go on my channel. I have dozens of videos where I showcase what the devs have replied with in the past, what, month or two? I have dozens of videos. So I you know, the slander, let's stop it there. And another thing I wanted to point out before someone gets onto me at my YouTube comments, because there's usually that one guy who always comments this. Oh, man, you're just simping for them, man. You're getting paid by them, man. I have 3 jobs. I don't get paid from them. I'm way too small to even for them to consider to pay me. So I'm here to, you know, I'm not like here like be like, oh, I'm a warrior. I'm here to fight the negativity. No, but I'm here to actually showcase the truth, you know, not the emotional truth that people see in their heads because they're upset with something. I want to show the actual truth. I want to show, like, if I say something, I want to back it up with something else, right? And I hopefully when someone else says something, I want them to back it up, right? But what happens a lot of times is people get emotional, as you can see by these 2 other posts. And before anyone says, so you know how to run a game company then? Okay. I manage a team at an ad agency working on several projects across the board at a time. So I'd like to say I can smell some neglect when it comes to management. Okay. Sort your stuff out before the dream is dead. Okay, let me tell you something real quick. An ad agency and what do you call it? A game development is very different. You know, it's very different. But I don't think that person wants to hear that, but it is very different. You guys do very different things, right? And I don't think any ad agency, if I'm not mistaken, has people or has like a forum where they have to answer to their fans. Do you know what I mean? So the similarities aren't really there. Like the whole, like how they say right here, communicate with your fans that have waited for 7 years. I don't think there's really fans of ad agencies that are waiting for them to communicate. So I don't see the connection here. Why? Because they run their management weird. How do they run their management weird? Because there's nothing stated here that says they run their management weird, apart from the communicate with your fans, which they do, but you neglect to see. So what a post. All right, let's read some of the replies from the community, and then we're gonna read the reply from the dev. Okay, so calm down or you'll get a heart attack. There are choices in management and developing, but relax, they'll get there. Just need a couple more years. Just stop playing for now and don't rage like this for the game. Okay, yeah. I wouldn't say atrocious, but okay. Agree and disagree, right? I think, yeah, you should definitely calm down. It's not that serious. You lost me the Star Citizen comparison. I gotta really look up this game. People are giving a lot of money for a demo. This was you clearly didn't realize how much farther Star Citizen goes with this. What is this? I want to get into it. I don't want to get into other links, right? This video is going to come out to be 3 hours long. It's like some people just memory hold the fact that Star Citizen was selling ships costing hundreds of dollars for a game that wasn't even released at this time. Oh, I might have actually heard something about this. Okay, never mind. Yeah, well, what a comparison. Hold on. Oh, the main guy actually responded. Usually these guys only post once, and then it's like 10 pages of, you know, nothing but replies, and he never responds again. But all right. I know, it's not the game that annoys. I'm happily waiting for another year, but it's a joke. 8+ years of development. It's not 8+ years of development. Man, listen. These videos trigger me over some time now. But look, when a game development company, right, same way as a normal person, like let's change this to normal. When you finish a project, what do you usually do? When you finished a game, right, and you've gotten all the hot fixes, what do you usually do then, right? There's other projects that are worked on, right? They might have worked on a different game and we wouldn't have known because they, you know, scrapped it after 2 years. They might have done other things. They obviously were maintaining their current games as well. They were doing updates for their current games. So they weren't just all of a sudden, hey, we dropped, what was it called? Fire and Sword. That was the last game they dropped before Bannerlord. They were like, hey, we dropped this game and now I have a great idea. Bannerlord. Let's work on that right now. Like, that's not how it went. I don't understand if people understand that. Holy, okay. In Lewis, no more than a bare bones demo. Again, counteractive to your, I had 2 full playthroughs. That implies that you had 2 full playthroughs, and you know, a playthrough of a game normal games, right? Because this game usually takes longer, but normal games, a normal playthrough is what? 15 hours or something like that? 15, 20 hours? You know, for like, let's say story games in general. If you have 2 full of those, it's way more than a demo that's usually 30 minutes to an hour long. Quite large team. There's a lot bigger teams. 90 people, you'll be surprised it's not the biggest team. They made their millions and ran. What a garbage statement. I won't stop this barrage until it's a Joko and company. Show some respect to these fans and communicate. Okay. Now wait, let me go scroll back up. Where is this? I had 2 full playthroughs and I loved every second. Hold on. Where is it? They've made their millions and ran. I won't stop this barrage until this joke of a company is over and show some respect to their fans. Here's a crazy concept. The way you're portraying yourself, by your attitude and by your lack of facts and just acting off of emotion, in this situation, you don't deserve the respect from even them, to be honest with you. You don't deserve respect from a lot of people with these statements that you're making, right? And the fact that you're going to say that you're just going to keep barraging them, and I'm guessing keep harassing them on the forums just because, you know, you don't completely agree with the game is... Oh. And the saying that they made their millions and ran, where did they run to? How many fixes and hot fixes and patches have we gotten? Where have they run to? Like, these are blanket statements with no facts behind them. So, you know, it's garbage statement in my opinion. I'd suggest you take at least 4 years. You know what I mean? I suggest you take some time. Yeah, you should take a long time, man. 2 months equals 3 bug fixes. Another blanket statement with 0 facts, and it's actually contradicting to what actually happened. Yikes. They already sold 7 million. Why they have to work low? They're enjoying summer now. Okay. Good Lord, I feel bad for your team members working like a literal man-child. I think he's talking about his ad agency that he runs. That he manages, actually. Can you imagine? Hold on. Can you imagine this guy right here is running an ad agency? He's managing a team. Jesus Christ, man! I feel like that's a good position to have. Be like a manager of a team in an ad agency, especially like in this era where ads are very prevalent to every single, you know, thing that we do, right? It's just, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. But I guess since, you know, there's no face to this, you know, that he's gonna say some wild stuff. But at the same time, that's just crazy to me. Wow. Seems like you got your money's worth. Yeah, you got 2 full playthroughs and you loved every second. Now maybe go back to the full-on crybaby mode and have some patience. Yeah. This guy isn't also a professional instigator on this platform as well. So I'm not gonna give this any. I've seen some threads from this guy too a while back. I'm not gonna get into that. All right, let's see how the devs respond. So this is the dev response. I think it's on the 5th page. It's the same one, just so you know, we're clear. It's the same one that we're on, right? Let's get to it. You guys told me I pronounced his name wrong, so I'm gonna call him C. You guys really got on me for pronouncing his name wrong, and that was not my intention, so I'm gonna call him C. That is it. C said. There he is. I understand that you are frustrated with sudden shutdown of game updates as of late, but it really isn't the way to go about voicing. This isn't the way to go about voicing those concerns. There you go. Say it how it is. See, this is what I'm saying. I like the fact that the devs don't go on the full, you know, panic control. oh, we're so sorry for that. I like how they just sit there and they're like, listen, man, this ain't the way to go. They try to talk reason. You know, they don't just do blanket apologizing. I like that. Keep this up. We're currently working on a large code refactor, which is taking up quite a bit of our time. We mentioned it in the recent early access. Yeah, you know, everyone who actually, you know, is an actual fan, you know, they've seen the post that you've said this. They're you know what I mean? They know what's going on. You can also read about some of our plans in the future. By the way, he's not going to read it. I'll be honest with you, he's not going to read it. Doing this now ensures that the foundations of the game are in a much better state for future updates. Yes. Unfortunately, this meant that we are unable to release a large patch for the past few weeks. However, with that being said, updates to both main and beta are in the works and will be coming in the near future, probably in the next week or two. You know, it is what it is. And so you shouldn't have to wait too long to get started with a new campaign. Boom. I like how there's no sorry in this. I like how there's no nothing, because there's nothing to be sorry about. You know, said it how it is. I doubt the original guy is even going to respond or read. Let's see if he does, actually. I'm actually curious. So the main guy who made this is Moramir. So does he ever respond to the developer? Let's see. Of course not. Of course not. And that's usually how it goes. A wild statement is stated, no facts behind it, all emotion. And then when stuff is stated as a response, no reply. But okay, guys, that is going to be it for me. Hey, I had to let my rants out. I had to let it out. You know, there's a lot of people who are, you know, there's also a lot of people who see these posts and are misinformed about a lot of things when it comes to the game, because a lot of blanket statements are being made, not even in the game, just in the world in general nowadays, and it's just like, Jesus, there's so much misinformation, and it's just crazy to me, you know. So I did want to, you know, in a way kind of set the record straight, tell people what it actually is, right? And then they could go off that, right? They could go off the facts instead of just the speculation of a couple who, you know, state that all the fans have lost interest and things of that nature, you know. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. Jesus. Oh man, these type of videos make me, they don't make me stressed out, but they just, oh goodness. All right, like always, let me know any questions, any concerns, and stay safe.